Hello and welcome to the Home Inversion Bed Gym demonstration. I'm not a doctor and I have no medical training, so everything I'll be showing you here and saying is my opinion only. Let me give you a breakdown of what the machine is here. It's all constructed out of 1-inch galvanized pipe. It comes down to my headboard with a floor flange, and I have a solid wooden headboard, so it goes right to the floor, so it's supported really well. Then it's attached with two floor flanges on either end, and then elbows out and comes down to this configuration. Now there is a 2-foot extension that I made out of aluminum, 1-inch, just to save on weight, but it's plenty strong. And the whole unit comes out 40 inches away from the wall, to give you an idea of how far. If you're trying to build one of these, give you a little bit of specs on that. Okay, some of the components here. These are D handles. If you're familiar with D handles or not, but they're shaped like a D. And we have these mountain climbing pulleys that are ball bearing for super smooth and low resistance and no noise at all. And then we have the 3-inch ankle cuffs, and I don't know who makes these. These are Fight Tech made by, and they're cushioned with gel in them. Makes a big difference. I had some 2-inch ones that were thinner, of course, 1 inch thinner, and they just weren't as comfortable. They worked, but they weren't as comfortable. And okay, that goes through that part. Now our other pulleys here, these are going to be attached to our belt. I'll show you the belt here. And these are mountain climbing pulleys, ball bearing also, and they're a little bit wider to accommodate the double rope that's has to go up and down through here. Everything is secured with these lobster hooks for easy removal and attaching. So that takes care of that part. Okay, now our belt here is made by Star is the name of it. It's actually for weight training and to hold some weights that you'd be pulling up and down on. And I just sort of fabricated it to make it work for our use here. And then we have an additional mountain climbing apparatus that's going to be used to hook our other D handles. Now these D handles are made by Bionic Body, and I did add a stainless steel hook in between the strap and bend it around so that it hooks onto our belt here. I'll be showing you that in a minute. Okay, let's get started. First of all, we're going to put our belt on. And this is really a nice belt that you don't have to readjust. Once you have it adjusted with the Velcro, it's got a nice push clasp on here that stays on, and you're really secure with this belt. You don't have to worry about falling or slipping out of anything. Okay, let's get started here. Show you how things go. So we need to get ourselves lined up good, and first of all we're going to be attaching our 3-inch ankle cuffs. On both sides, and we're already lifting our legs up above our heart for good improved circulation and removing toxins from the legs that build up over time. I like to start out with some nice stretching here for the hips, the glutes, stretch the glutes out a little bit. And this feels really nice to do. When you first do it, you may feel some discomfort here, stretching out the muscles that you don't stretch out too often. You can do it depending on how you feel and what you need to do. You can do some of these back and forth. But this is real nice. It's easy to do. You can see that I'm very comfortable in this position. Okay, that shows you that. Now we're going to go up and attach our first waist clamp on here with the D handle. See, the D handles slip right down for you. I made these loops, otherwise you'd never be able to reach them without the loops. So, and then the loops, the other thing is that they hook right here onto your lobster clasps. So now we're in just a really, really nice position. If you have a sore back, sciatica, or any of those things, this is a really nice way to loosen up your vertebrae and improve oxygen. And also this procedure, all these things when you're up like this can improve the elasticity of your discs that can get hard over time or ulcerated. This can improve that and actually make it soft again so that it's cushioning like a shock absorber on your car. So just start out here and do a little bit of these. Now, this is similar to an inversion table, and we're going to show you how that works now. With the inversion now, we can go at any height we want, depending on it. We can go all the way up like this and hold this as long as we feel like it. It's not too hard to do. Most anybody that can move can probably do this pretty easily. Doesn't require very much strength. Also, it's much more comfortable than an inversion table because your head is not hanging. Your head is still supported. So you're not getting the blood rush that you would get on an inversion table to your head. So you can hold it longer, and it's adjustable. On an inversion table too, nobody really stays all the way up all the way for too long. So, you may just want to hang like this, depending on how you feel and how your back is. But already my back is getting very stretched out, the vertebrae, and you can go at a half with your legs half bent if you want. On an inversion table, you're going to be like this all the time, stretching your ankles a lot. Whereas this, you could do it like this. You're still off, your back is still off the bed and is being stretched with your body weight, pulling it. So it's all very nice and comfortable. Every position I'm doing here, hardly any effort. And as you can hear, there's almost no noise from these pulleys with the ball bearings in them. They're kind of expensive. They're about $60 a piece for those two, and I think $50 for these. I don't know why these are less expensive, and they're twice the size, but it's the way it works out on Amazon. So okay, we're in this position here. We could stay here depending on how you're feeling. We could just do some gentle rocking here. You can see our back is off the bed, being fully supported and very safely. Okay, from here we're going to hook up our other D handles for the belt. So these attach like this. We're going to face them away from us and just hook these on with our clasp here, hook it right on, and then up here, and these will hook right on. These lobster clasps have a swivel on them, which is important to keep everything so your handle doesn't get around. And at the bottom part, we can hook right on there of the lobster clasp. Now we're going to attach our other one here. Facing away from us. And hook that on. Okay. So now this is where we're going to be doing, instead of pulling like we were pulling from our legs, which is very good. It's very, very effective. Very similar to what an inversion table or inversion chair would do. Now for the next part of this, we're going to be doing something similar to aerial yoga. If you've seen that, they have aerial yoga hammocks and trapezes, they call them also. And those are very nice if you can get up on them. They're a little hard to get up on, and then when you're there, to keep your legs in, you have to wrap your legs around the silks. And you can see videos on that if you're interested. I find it, I haven't done it, but it looks like it would be pretty difficult. Plus, you have to have a very high ceiling or a tree branch they're using. A lot of people are using it outside. Whereas this you can do right in the comfort of your bed. It doesn't get much more comfortable than that, really. And you don't have to go anywhere. Now, I like to start out, even before I go all the way up, just to do some rowboat or skiing stretching. And you can kick your legs way out if you want to get a little more movement in the hips and the glutes. And all the time while we're doing this, our legs are above our heart, and we're improving our circulation and actually lowering our heart rate a little bit. The heart doesn't have to pump as hard. And you can see I'm not getting winded or tired or anything. It's very easy to do. Okay, from this one we're going to go up and go into our first hook position on these hooks I showed you earlier. And now we're pretty much just suspended like we would be on the aerial yoga hammock. And you can see how they get up. They have to kind of scoot up on it or else pull themselves up to get on it. And it kind of looks like it might be a little easy to fall off to me looking at it. Whereas here you're strapped in with a heavy duty belt that you can't fall out. You could just basically lay here and you can't go anywhere. It's just really, really comfortable this way. And while you're here, you could do some, just to keep things moving and whatnot, the more flexibility you can get into your back. And now see how your legs, on an inversion table, your legs would be stretched all the time. They'd be pulling. You don't have any of that on this. Your legs are free to just relax, while the belt and the pulleys are pulling your back and stretching your back out. Really nice, and it's just so comfortable. In this position too, I like to stretch out my shoulders, arms, and also maybe do some of my Pilates here. I have these stretch cords to do some Pilates. And these can do some toning into your shoulders, add a little strength into them. And some loosening up of the shoulders is good.
try to get every part of the body stretched with this machine, and it does almost everything. You'd still want to do some work with your neck that you can't do on this, and I have another system that I use for stretching my neck and shoulders. But you can see how comfortable this is. You could almost just fall asleep in this position. And do a little more movement around. And I would vary this. I'd come down off of this now and go back up to our inversion table. And you can see I'm all the way up. Pretty much what you'd get in inversion, except for the headache or the rush of blood to your head that many people with high blood pressure are advised not to do, or if you have any eye problems, because it would put a lot of pressure on your eyes hanging completely. Whereas this, it's so comfortable because your head isn't really hanging, but you're still getting the benefit of stretching your back and your legs out. Okay, now we're going to go up to the final position on here. Just routines that I do. Everybody would find maybe different things that they like to do. But like I say, with the inversion table and other things, your legs are usually have to be strapped or wrapped around something. Whereas here, they're just free to do whatever you feel like doing with them. And I used to suffer from restless leg syndrome. And with this machine, doing these exercises that you see me do, I have had no problem with restless leg syndrome anymore. Also, aching calves. In the day, your calves support you all day long, and they don't get much stretched out, and this really stretches them out great. I don't know what else I can say about it. That's pretty much the whole routine. I do a longer set than this just for filming. I'm not going to do everything here, but you can get a pretty good idea of what you can do with this machine in your own home, in your bed, without having to go to any gym or have somebody pay somebody to train you. It's all, one person can do this all by themselves. You don't need any help. It's easy and just really good for your back, and all your muscles just really get a pretty good workout with this. Okay, we'll come back down. So everything hooks, it comes apart easy, and this all stores away. It can be swung out of the way and hooked over onto the poles, or however you'd want to do it, so it's not in your way in the daytime or whatever. I leave these, the Pilates grips on right in all the time, so that in the morning when I wake up, I can do some of those before I get out of bed, and just start the day off with stretching my shoulders a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to drop this down, and as you can see, it's very easy to take apart and assemble. And taking off our cuffs, and that's about that. And get our belt off. Very easy to take the belt off. So that's pretty much most of the routine I do with this. And I would
I hope that you liked the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up, and if you could tell other people about this if you like it. And if any manufacturer would like to make some of these, I have a lot of ideas of making like a 4-poster bed type that would just have the bars coming this way that you could slide them, and then you'd be able to have any length that you wanted and height and that sort of thing. Or if you have a ceiling, I don't have a ceiling that I can that has any strength in it up there. If you've got a good ceiling, you could put the bars, 2 bars going this way and 2 this way, and have them slide wherever you wanted to go, and then you wouldn't have to have all these supports and all this other stuff. So once again, thanks for watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Bye.